Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Well, good afternoon and welcome here to Broadbeach Bowling Club. We're back. The technical gremlins have returned and we're just seeing the completion of the second end of this women's singles knockout match. Round of 32, Ellen Faulkner against Lynsey Clarke. It is now one shot all. Ellen Faulkner won the first end. Lynsey Clarke has won the second end. Nick Hind is here with you here at the Bowls Australia card table. We're at Rink 22, Green 4 here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. The technical delay has given Paul Holchke time to be here for the start of the coverage. Paul, good afternoon to you again.
Afternoon, Nick. Glad to be back. What a game we have installed here for us.
Well, two players who need very little introduction, Ellen Faulkner, CBE, and Lynsey Clarke, both players who've done everything in our sport, Paul Holchke.
There's not much they haven't won. Nice start here by Lynsey.
And as we can see here, crowd has built. Only two games on this green this afternoon. We'll try to keep you updated for Lara Butler, who's playing Christine McGarity.
From Marimbula.
From Marimbula, yes. So players from all across the world of bowls here. Now, Ellen Faulkner, I can tell you viewers, is using the red and white Henselite XGs. Sydney Swans colours, Paul.
And Lynsey's using the blue, so it's Carlton versus Sydney.
And, yeah, Lynsey's got the blue Taylor SRVs. So
does that mean I'm allowed to be biased and barrack for the blue team?
You can barrack for whomever you wish.
Go Blues.
You have to be going for Lynsey Clarke, though, in what should be...
I'm only joking, mate.
In what should be a tremendous contest between two of the best in the game. Mitch Mears is our marker. Many of you will recognise him. He's done plenty of work for us on the streams in the past and does an excellent, excellent job.
Certainly does.
So do let us know where you're watching. You're tuning in from around Australia or around the world. This is Broadbeach Bowls Club, Rink 22. They're really close to the fans here. Greenkeeper came out during the break and has just shuffled everything across a little bit.
He certainly has, hasn't he?
Well, the suggestion from Lynsey, could be a good thing because it means that the shadow is going to be across the full rink quicker than it might be otherwise.
Hey, that. She's chasing it. She likes it.
So, Clarke there. In for
Marcus
two.
says we're holding two.
Yes.
I can't barrack him for the blue team.
Now, the clock's hit zero, but I'll let Lockie worry about that. The game did start promptly at 2:30, so we are 10 minutes in. But I don't think time will be an issue for these two players. Lynsey Clarke
not at the speed
Ellen
they
Faulkner.
play. They're hurrying through.
As Ellen
just takes out one. Should be
roll.
happy-ish with that.
So
Got a bowl each to come. Lynsey's holding one. Where do you think she'll be? Drawing on the forehand or the backhand here, Nick?
well, she can play either hand.
She can.
I think the forehand might be her go here, though.
I think you could be right.
She's already got one there. That's the way she's setting up here. The great Lynsey Clarke.
All right.
So, Locke's got the clock reset. As I say, it shouldn't come into it. Lynsey Clarke's bowl is coming into the head here. Doesn't want the jack, doesn't want her own bowl. Well, it's a very good miss in the end.
Holding one.
Leighton Davies straight in here, watching from Wales. I'm sure there'll be plenty in the UK. And we're here to cheer on.
It's summertime over in the UK, isn't it? Or
It absolutely is summertime, but it couldn't be better day than it is over here.
it's probably nicer here in winter than in Wales in the summer.
as we see Ellen Faulkner, she just slides underneath, so it's going to be another one shot to Lynsey Clarke. She leads 2 shots to 1. Mitch Mears signals to all and sundry. Now, we can take a breath because without having the luxury of a bit of a run-in, I can't tell you all about what's been going on around the other games. There's a couple of big names have been removed from the fields of both the men's and the women's singles. Murray Gibbs, who we called in the first game, was defeated by Christine McGarity, so she's out after knocking off defending champion Cass Millerick. Other notable players eliminated: Jen Delves, Sam Atkinson, Nugget, Sean Ingham. He'll be back behind the bar presumably this afternoon.
Did you say Sammy Atkinson?
Went down 21-20.
Who to?
To Caitlin Inch.
Ooh.
Kira Burke has been eliminated, as has Kelly McCarrahan. So,
wow,
some big names out.
Just shows in this game anyone can win on their day.
Yeah, well, as we've seen, a great start from Lynsey in the men's field. Everybody who you would expect is through. All the big names, and then some of the not so big names. Flynn O'Shaughnessy, the pathway Jackaroo
from ACT.
Yeah, Clive Adams.
Did Clive get through?
He's through.
Ooh, ringside Clive.
So he might be...
How do we get him on the live stream? Yeah, I think all the viewers would love to watch Clive, wouldn't they?
I'm sure they'd love to interrogate his action, his decision-making. He's done it to so many players over the years.
Okay, asking the marker. So she's going to draw in on the backhand. She's got that unique delivery of hers, a real UK type of delivery.
Well, it's been so effective for so long. I mean, a multiple Commonwealth Game gold medalist is Ellen Faulkner. But as is her opponent, Lynsey Clarke.
Recent world champion in the was it ladies triples?
Ladies triples 2023.
On this very green.
And a Commonwealth Games gold medalist herself in Victoria, Canada in 2006, Lynsey Clarke.
Just pulled up a little bit shorter than she would have hoped, I think.
2006 was Melbourne. Why does it say 2006 Victoria on my feed? We'll have to get into.
Okay.
It was too.
She's taken a bit more grass here, has she?
Lockie Williams rightly correcting me there for the misinformation that's been found online. Well,
I dare say she's cut it down.
Yeah, corrected weight, but still, hands starting to turn a bit more. We saw in the last game, Paul, while you were busy taking nominations for Mega Bowl, that the green has recovered some of the pace that was lost from this morning's shower. The breeze did get up to out of the northeast, which is to the top right of your screen now, viewers. So it'll be coming in over.
Generally, this time of day, the greens are running at its quickest. So we would expect it to be taking a bit more grass at this time of day. But with the shadow, that and half the green in shadow and half not, it'll make the game a little bit more tricky for them. But they're very good players. They can adapt. Unlike you and I, Nick, where we would struggle, I dare say. Here we go. Drawing in for... It's got to slow down. So, holding one.
Yeah, so Mitch Mears has given us the indication it is only one. And it probably gives Ellen Faulkner a really good chance to play this positively. If she can get to the shot bowl, which is directly behind the jack there, she can get that out for 1 or 2. But any trail of the jack to the left of screen there can make a big number here and assert some scoreboard pressure early.
Okay, playing the backhand. She hasn't quite got a line on the backhand on this end, but can she do it on her last bowl? Just a little bit of a...
Don't know if she's quite out high enough
nudge
ball,
of the
but...
jack. Just slipping on past.
Yeah, good positive weight there.
One.
Gave herself every chance, so one's going to come
measure.
out, but Lynsey very quick on to get the tape out there. She said to me before this game she's only playing for fun these days. But when you're that quick to get the tape out, I suggest she's still got that competitive streak.
Oh, you never lose that competitive streak. So 1 to Lynsey.
So Lynsey Clarke leads 3 shots to 1. Both players had good wins in the previous game. Lynsey Clarke was in front by a very comfortable 20 shots to 7, but her opponent just was able to keep chipping away and kept her out there a little bit longer in the previous second round of 64. But there was a few players who enjoyed a long lunch.
Right. What did you have for lunch, Nick?
I had another nice sandwich. Thanks to you, Paul Holshe. Another nice sandwich. Yeah, so Ellen Faulkner defeated Sian Saunders 21-10. Sian, of course, from Osborne Park in Western Australia. And Lynsey Clarke defeating the Malaysian Emma Soroji 21-11. But Emma made Lynsey Clarke work really hard for that last shot.
Tracking well here, this bowl. I think this could come in for shot.
Yes.
It certainly has.
Exactly right there, Paul Holshe.
And a smile. I can still do it. That's what she's saying to herself. And some complimentary remarks from the crowd. It's good to see the crowd coming down to watch this marquee match. They're being treated to... it's like royalty on the green, isn't there?
Well, when you see two players with the history, the pedigree, the CV that Lynsey Clarke and Ellen Faulkner have, meeting in a round of 32.
I wonder if they've ever faced off before. Do we know, Lockie? I wonder if they've had a tussle before. Hard to imagine if they haven't.
I'd bet they would have at some stage. Ellen Faulkner has, of course, been a member of the BPL or representing as a player at the BPL in recent years.
Oh, look at this one.
Lynsey
Nice little
Clarke.
movement of the jack. Makes 2.
It's part of the Pine Rivers Pirates. And, of course, Lynsey Clarke has been represented at the BPL as around the grounds. She's been out talking to players, talking to the fans.
And the crowd love her too.
Oh.
She gets in amongst them, talks to the people.
What's not to love? If you're the man of the people, Paul Holtschke, I'd say that Lynsey Clarke could be the woman of the people.
I could not compare myself to Lynsey, not in a million years. She's just gone through a bit further than she would have liked.
Well, do you think it's 2 shots, Paul?
I would say so. Mitch is going to give us an indication, I dare say. Mitch, there you go. There you go, 2 shots. 2 to the blue. Should we, I'd imagine coming in on the forehand, trying to draw a third.
So, Lockie's just...
What's Lockie found?
Well, he's very good here.
Excellent.
Our producer, Ellen Faulkner, was part of the winning triples team at the 2014 Commonwealth Games, playing second. Lynsey Clarke was part of the silver medal team, playing as a lead for Australia. So they have met in a Commonwealth Games gold medal match.
So what you're saying is Lynsey's after retribution here?
Oh, I'm sure she's got a 10-year vendetta to square up here.
She's probably forgotten.
Well, she's played that many big games.
That's right. I dare say she would never have forgotten. Okay, holding 3.
Yeah, we're seeing...
Big bowl here.
Yeah, we're seeing Ellen's just been crossing the head a little bit.
In the context of this game, she needs to at least cut it down.
She's out on a very high line this time, Paul.
Going to come in. Is it coming in? It's still coming. The crowd. Ooh.
Well, the crowd were applauding, I think, because Lara Butler played an absolute bomb over on the next rink.
I'm impressed that you saw that, Nick. Taking
Three.
2 out.
Three shots. Mitch Mears signals.
Wow, 6-1.
So we saw in the last game, Lara Butler really dominant in her victory over Ush Muncaster. And some early strength being shown here from the golden girl, Lynsey Clarke.
Is she after more silverware or more gold medals?
Well,
how would you describe?
Well, her trophy cabinet's already bulging.
It's bulging.
Paul.
I could imagine. I'd love to see the pool room at her place. It'd be full of memorabilia.
As she starts with another cracker.
Cracking start. She's just been so consistent at the moment. I think that's what is the difference. She's just drawing it in that little bit closer. Ellen's struggling with her line a little bit.
Yeah, Lynsey's getting 2 or 3 really close and putting a lot of pressure on Ellen, who's not been able to get consistently
as close as she'd like.
As close as she'd like, but
as we know, the wheel can turn.
Well, a long way to go.
First game when
yes.
our defending champion was 9-2 up. Another
lovely bowl there.
Very steady she is. But when you look at her delivery, it's just so rhythmic, and it's no wonder that she has so many great results on the green.
Well, that's exactly what we're getting in the comments here. Peter Madison, Lynsey Clarke has a beautiful delivery, silky smooth.
Correct.
Ellen just checking to see the relation of the bowls there. So we've got a great angle of the whole back of this rink here.
Coming down on the backhand, just trying to draw another one in.
Now,
just keep it communal. Oh, you know
easy for you to say, Paul. Now,
accumulating.
What we've seen the last few days is that playing north-south here, we're seeing the cloud come across, sorry, not the cloud, the shadow come across in the afternoon. And it's really impacting how the players have dealt with this green and this rink in particular, because it gets half shade, half sun.
Okay, Ellen's changed her hand, mate. She's gone to the forehand. She's struggling with a line on the backhand. She keep pushing. Not quite.
Still in for 2.
She's got the line though.
See Lynsey Clarke
with her last bowl,
asking questions.
Again, coming round on the backhand. I'd imagine she'd be just trying to get around that front bowl of hers. Trying to get in and put a third one in there and just put the pressure on.
Going to pull up in time.
Yes. Just went through a bit further than she would have liked.
Lockie's just...
What's he doing, Lockie?
Well, he's just tied up our tighter shot there. The camera was having some gremlins. We've gone so well today, and then this afternoon. So, yes, Kitty, we will zoom in, but it was camera issues preventing us from getting there. It's not a lack of desire on our part. Now, still the forehand, Paul, do you like, or...
No, she's changed to the backhand.
So Ellen Faulkner now on the backhand.
She's definitely got more room to draw in on the backhand.
Well, she's aggressive.
She's having a go at it.
Oh, pots that front bowl of Lynsey Clarke through the head.
So that's 2 down, Nick.
No material change.
So Lynsey skips out to an 8-1 lead.
And as you suggest, 8-1.
After 6 ends. So big shout out to John Seitman for filling in the last game. How did he go? Did a good job, I hear.
Well,
many good reports.
Well, as a Canadian, his accent came through crystal clear. He's provided a new insight, and for those that weren't tuned in, John Seitman comes all the way every year to the Australian Open from Nova Scotia in Canada, and it's one of the biggest trips. 29 hours of travel, he tells me, from Nova Scotia to Broadbeach.
Quite an effort to do that.
You think you've got hard, Paul, jumping on the
coming from Melbourne
on the flight from Melbourne. Lovely start here. Lynsey's looking in
is.
ominous form early.
Now, for those viewers who were tuning in game one, we had the discussion about which is further, Edinburgh or Nova Scotia.
So we discovered that.
According to John.
Well, so Edinburgh is further. Lovely bowl from Ellen. Edinburgh is further in a straight line, but the actual travel distance from Nova Scotia is longer. So, look, I think if you're coming from anywhere, whether it's particularly anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, there's no worries about who's going the furthest, because you're making a magnificent effort just to be here for this event, this glorious event.
The biggest bowls carnival in the world. Hopefully next year we can see some more bowlers come from the Northern Hemisphere, come down and enjoy this amazing weather, amazing facilities.
Well, we've had discussions from viewers all across the world. Nearly 1,200 watching live already, as we see two of the games.
They're being
greats.
Spoiled, aren't they, with this, the calibre of players we've got here on this Rink 22, our live stream rink for this event today.
Glenn Archer watching from Bangkok. Peter Madison watching on from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Right, back to the bowls. Lynsey's looking to land on Allen's bowl, and she hears, yes, what a bowl. Just got a nice little rest on Allen's and just flopped back over. And
yeah, well, where that's sat, Paul, makes it much more challenging.
Very difficult to remove.
To get out clean.
Allen's coming down with a bit of weight. It's just hanging out a little bit on her. She won't be very happy about that.
Yeah, losing the bowl wouldn't have been
No.
part of the plan, as Locke gives us a replay. Little kiss on the shot bowl, falls back. The only thing it didn't do was get a touch of the jack. It would have been absolutely perfect. But if your name's Lynsey Clarke, you're sitting pretty here, because she's got a great chance now to play another positive draw.
Class at the moment, isn't she?
Push that white and red bowl of Ellen Faulkner through and potentially make a three to go out to a commanding early lead, Paul Holtke.
Do you think she's going to try and do something similar? Just land on Ellen's bowl that she rested on before. Okay, on the forehand, here we come. Watching it.
Well, she's on.
The line looks okay.
It's an aggressive line again.
Just the weight.
Well, I'm really happy with that weight. That weight gives the opportunity for that white bowl to be pushed through, and Lynsey could have made a multiple.
All right, if you're Ellen, what do you do here, mate?
Well,
I think she's got to come in on the backhand.
That's what she tried last time. Was probably a fraction heavy.
She can get any chip of the jack. She could make two. It's got to be perfect weight and perfect line. Here we come. She's going with a bit more weight again. Hello.
This is a bit closer here, Paul.
Hello. It's coming. It's just hanging a little bit. It was a good try.
Yeah, I like that. That was better speed that time, keeping the bowl up.
So another one to Lynsey.
So 9 shots, Lynsey Clarke. 1 shot, Ellen Faulkner. And it's been 6 ends in a row. So we saw Ellen Faulkner. Well, we didn't see. Those of us live in the venue saw. Ellen claimed the first end, but it was good competitive bowls. And then the next 6 ends have gone the way of Lynsey Clarke.
The great Lynsey Clarke. Okay, on the back end. As we discussed previously, that first bowl, if you can get that first bowl in close, it certainly puts the pressure on your opponent. It's not too bad.
Yeah, well, we saw in the last game, Paul, Lara Butler was absolutely on fire. Pressure on from the word go. Every end, her first bowl, nailing the jack with monotonous regularity. And with these two players, expect to see lots of bowls like this.
Good response here by Ellen Faulkner.
Little touch from Ellen.
Some round of applause by our crowd.
Well, I said there were scores of people here this morning enjoying a cup of coffee. This crowd has grown all day, Paul. The Gold Coast.
Certainly turning it on, mate. The
Absolutely.
weather is just incredible. It would not be a breath of breeze. The sun is out. It's just glorious. It's the place to be. If you haven't been up to the AA, I would certainly be putting it down as something you want to do next year.
Yeah. Lynsey's mum, Teresa, here, RINKSIDE, I've just been informed.
She's always,
her on. Well,
always following Lynsey around. She's one of the greatest supporters. She's a marvel.
And has been here all day. So, rarely do you have a bigger fan than your mum and dad when you play sport.
Correct.
Your father was here today, Paul. And had the
come
pleasure of
in for a look.
meeting
Rode
him.
his bike in from Burleigh Heads. Yeah, it's good to see. They actually don't bowl, but they enjoy coming to watch this festive atmosphere, and they enjoy seeing the skill and the level of competitiveness. They enjoy that.
We've just seen Lynsey Clarke go running through the head there. And it was fairly open, but she's now got one round the back. 2 shots we like for Ellen Faulkner.
Just going to pull up this one.
Yeah, that bowl's...
Is it 1 or 2, Nick, that Ellen is holding?
Sure, Mitch will give us a signal presently, but Lynsey Clarke having a really good look at this. She attacked with her last bowl. And as we see with so many of the game's best players, they're really confident using weight early.
Mitch has got 2...
tucked behind his back there.
He has there. Well, very good work there, Mitchell.
So, Mitch Mears, of course, a star. He plays in the Premier League side for Broadbeach.
It's a pretty good side. Do you reckon you could make it into that side, Nick?
I'd be lucky to cut the oranges. Oh, as she runs through the hole
Just
again,
missed.
Lynsey Clarke. Well,
Risk and reward there, Nick. Now, Ellen's got to draw a third here. It's an absolute must.
you'll be backing her in to draw it too, won't you, Paul? So you watch the replay. The ball went straight through the hole.
It's a critical moment here. She needs a third shot.
And back live, well, she might have just undercooked it a fraction, Paul.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Is it? Not sure.
It actually looks not too bad over our right shoulder here as we sit at the Bowls Australia card table. 1 has been kicked out by Lynsey Clarke. She's surrendered 1. And she's going to have a look and see what gets inside her best bowl, which is the one on the right wing there.
Definitely 2. Will it be 3?
Locke's given us the nice quarter
Oh,
angle
looks like
there.
it's 3.
Yes.
3 it is.
Really important
She needed
there.
that, Nick.
Well, after losing 6 ends consecutively, Ellen Faulkner gets back on the board and gets back on the board in a big way, Paul. A 3-shot collect. And all of a sudden...
It's moments like this that can swing the course of the game. We'll see if that pans out to be that way.
Well, she's taken the mat right back. And this jack is travelling. She's looking to go very close to full length here. Maybe just a metre or so up from the tee. 21 metres is, of course, the minimum length here at the Australian Open and for all Bowls Australia events. 23 metres is the standard worldwide, but we can go a little bit shorter than that.
Okay. Starting out on the forehand, the line isn't too bad. It's coming in.
I think it's better than not too bad, Paul. That's
pretty
excellent.
Good. Jack high. She'll be happy with that.
Robert says he's going to be on the Gold Coast from Tuesday for the rest of the week. Well, make sure you get along. All the finals here from Thursday, Lockie.
Yeah, I'd be driving out to Helensvale on Wednesday.
And yes, Wednesday is the big day at Helensvale.
Yep. Definitely be popping out there if I was him.
Yes, so Wednesday, of course, bump-in day for all the camera and the grandstands.
Gives the greens a bit of a rest here at Broadbeach after all these heavy use. Okay, Ellen's just... Oh, it's not going to quite make it. Okay, Lynsey will be wanting to correct her first bowl. The line was fantastic, but needed about a metre and a bit. Should be looking to add just a bit more. How's it looking here, Nick?
Well,
wow,
she's got a good memory, but...
It's nearly same, isn't it?
Very, very similar. Now, don't forget, of course, if you are here this evening, and here being at Broadbeach Bowling Club, come see Paul Holtschke and the event team. It is a mega bowl tonight, 128 spots available. Costs you $10 to go in, and one winner, $1,280. As we see a round of applause for Ellen Faulkner, who's played another cracker. Now, do you think Lynsey's going to risk attacking this?
Well, she can't be short. 2 bowls short. She has to be up this time. Anyway,
she's on a pretty high line.
She's on the canter. I think she's she won't be happy with that unless she's looking for the re-spot.
2 shots is the signal from Mark Amirs.
Now, have you noticed that Ellen took her top off?
I didn't notice that. The jumper has been removed, Paul.
The jumper, the jacket, the hoodie has been removed. Obviously, sometimes it's things like that, like taking a jacket off or adding the jacket can sometimes change the way you bowl it down. And
well, player comfort, the ability to operate at your optimal level. As Locke gives us a replay of that great one, that second. What this last bowl has done now, despite being over a metre short, that red bowl might just be in the eye of Lynsey Clarke if she was thinking to attack, because there would have been a split there to get both those white bowls out. If she's going to run through it, she might have to push up through her own bowls on the backhand now.
Yeah, it's forced her to play a draw weight.
Or just draw around. So, as you've suggested, Paul Holtschke.
Draw weight. What's she doing? It's got a little bit of... how's it looking, Nick?
Well, she can use that and get off, but...
2.
Could be 3, man.
Could be 3.
So, that wide bowl of...
I think the marker's got 2 paddles showing behind his back there, Mitch.
Yeah, the wide bowl of Ellen Faulkner did get promoted. And 3 shots it is again. So,
it's 3.
Consecutive scores of 3 brings this contest back to being much, much tighter. 7 shots now to Ellen Faulkner. 9 shots to Lynsey Clarke.
Just like that, Nick, how the game can change.
Well, how quick it is. Paul Holtschke to see
the ebbs and flows of sport, of a contest, the ups and the downs.
Oh, this Jack might be going for a swim.
Right. So if you're Lynsey Clarke, what are you going to do now, Nick? You're going to Because Ellen's just said she wants to play long. What's Lynsey going to do?
Well, I mean, she's shown her colours.
Yes.
And so whether it's a long length, as Lynsey certainly hasn't seemed to be disliking, but I don't think she'll go really short. There's more
medium to short.
Yeah, the 3/4 social.
Brought the mat up a little bit, so it's
fairly social length. But as we saw, for those that were with us in the last game, the control of the length, so important. Bush Muncaster couldn't maintain control. We saw it in the first game too. Cass Millerick missing that short jack roll by a few inches, and that ended up being...
That was costly, wasn't it?
Costly. It wasn't a blunder, but it was just
not what she wanted at that time.
It was an error at the wrong time in the game. She didn't leave herself much margin for error, though, to be fair.
Here comes Lynsey, looking good, Lynsey.
Lynsey wanted this length, and she's nailed it straight away.
Oh, look at that. Superb. Just one bowl behind Jack.
Comment coming through that the green looks a little bit slower than other days, and that would be true. We had a sharp little squall come through this morning of rain, which prevented absolutely optimal green preparation, and it's also just taken the pace out a fraction. That big finish that we were seeing yesterday afternoon, Paul, has disappeared.
Okay, Lynsey on the forehand.
So the last,
draw a second.
Yeah, the last bowl of Ellen Faulkner preventing Lynsey from staying on the backhand there.
Keep moving. It's just going to pull up a little bit. Should be a little bit disappointed with that. It's always good to put a second one on when you've got the first one. Just compound the advantage. What's Ellen done here?
Oh, she might be.
Here it comes. Here it comes, looking very good.
Yes.
Yes.
So the arm went up very quickly from Mitch Mears. Has snuck through the gate there and drawn number one.
Bowl, Nick.
Well, both these girls are showing their pedigree, their class, and why they've got every trophy in bowls. Because here comes Lynsey Clarke.
Lynsey.
Oh.
Not quite. Not enough.
Well, and
a couple inches short.
Well, it's about to fall over too, that bowl of Lynsey Clarke. It just has.
I don't think it's going to make any difference, Nick. Okay, Ellen on the backhand.
Well, it's off its running service now, Paul, which is the only reason that I say that, because...
She might give her own a little nudge.
Not so easy to promote.
Not quite there, no. Okay, she's looking at it with interest.
Here we see the great bowl that is number one and shot for Ellen Faulkner.
Okay, what has she got here? Do you think she sticks on that forehand? And if she can...
Well, Ellen's only got...
Give that back bowl a bit of a...
Ellen's got shot. Second and third belong to Lynsey Clarke.
There's got to be a big bowl here in the context of this game. If she could nudge that back bowl out, pick up three... All of a sudden, she skips away again.
Yeah, seeing some confident weight here.
Here we come, Nick.
Wants to get to this white bowl.
Tell you what.
Well.
Tell you what. Oh, she hadn't have nudged her own. She would have taken out Ellen's for sure.
Well, just what I said, that bowl.
Unlucky.
The bowl that she hit was the one that fell over. Had it been up on its running surface, it may well have gone in for shot.
Oh, absolutely.
But the fact that it had been laid down, and yes, one it is. So Ellen Faulkner, in the twinkling of an eye, has snuck back from being 9-1 down to trail only 8 shots to 9.
After 10 ends.
So, of course, at the Australian Open, first to 21, shots in excess of 21 do not count. Ends don't count. We just have to get to 21 or 2 hours and 15 minutes. There's absolutely no concern about that being an issue for us here this afternoon.
Not at the speed these ladies play at. They certainly don't muck around. They're very decisive with their decision making.
Well, when you've been at the top of our game for so long as both these ladies have. They know what they're doing. No dead ends either. There is a respot as we follow that bowl there down the green from Ellen Faulkner, who has...
Coming down on the forehand.
Well, she's
the line
just switched on.
Yeah, sometimes it just can happen, just like that. Okay. Lynsey on the forehand also, trying to beat Ellen's bowl on the wing there. Just going to slide on past, but that's still a good home there. She won't be too disappointed with that.
Ellen very quickly seeing out that she wanted that bowl to start moving. She's thrown it out very wide, taking the weight off too. I think perhaps a little lapse in concentration there. It's easy to do when you've got such a full schedule like these ladies do. They're likely to be...
And it is full on, isn't it?
Playing a lot of games.
It's like a marathon rather than a sprint, this event.
Well, to win it all, you've got to win a lot of games.
Exactly right.
Talking about that the other day, to win the men's fours, you have to win something like 7 games.
Oh, to win the men's singles, you've got to win 11 games.
To win the men's singles, you have to win 11 games. I mean, that's barely possible for anybody. But somebody manages to do it every year.
Well,
Lynsey Clarke managed to do that. She's
just gone a bit further through than she would have liked.
Favourable comparisons coming through on the YouTube in the comments. Do drop us a comment. Lynsey's delivery to Fred Couples' swing in golf.
Oh, love the Fred Couples delivery. So easy, rhythmic, and it's very consistent as well, just like Lynsey's delivery. Okay, what do we got here?
See a big high line there, and it's got back well.
I'd say that's 2, yes. All right, she's just got to take off a little bit of weight here.
A little bit of virgin territory, as I did mention before. The greenkeeper came out and just rearranged the rink pegs, and we're the closest to the ditch that we have been. We were on rink 23 for the last game.
She's following it down. I think she likes it.
Lynsey Clarke.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
what a bowl.
What's not to like?
It brings a smile too.
Now,
good to see, isn't it, that the players show some emotion.
Well, they're having fun too, Paul.
Oh, you have to have fun.
You know, particularly when you're as well versed with one another as both these women are.
And they're very good friends.
Great friends on and off the green.
Correct.
Now, the challenge here for Ellen Faulkner is that she's got nothing at the back, so even if she attacks this, any movement of the jack towards the back of the rink is going to be detrimental. Well, I think she's going to have to stay on the forehand now.
The backhand, mate.
Oh, you like the backhand, do you?
She's just got to tap on, give Lynsey's a little love tap, move it off, and she could even pick up 2 here.
Well, she's agreeing with you.
Here she comes on the backhand. The line's looking all right. How's her speed? It's not far away. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
there you go. I told you, Nick.
Great call. Great call from you.
That's what good skips do. They make good calls, Nick.
Oh. That's why Ellen Faulkner's got just 3 more Commonwealth Game gold medals than I've got. Only 3. But she's played an absolute humdinger there.
That was a cracking bowl. She'll be very happy with that, Ellen.
And now what's happened with where the jack's positioned is that it's going to be hard.
She could kill it.
Out.
If she kills it, she's got the backest bowl, but it still allows Ellen enough room to draw in for another shot. All right, here we go. Lynsey coming down on the backhand. There's a bit of a hush. They watch this bowl come on down. What's she doing? Is she going to make it?
Just going to pull up short.
Just need a little bit more speed. It was a very good try.
Well, a magnificent bowl there.
And
from
just
Ellen
like
Faulkner.
that,
And we can get started now, Paul Holschke.
scores a level.
It's a race to 12 rather than a race to 21. At 9-all, it's been a huge fight back. We saw Ellen Faulkner win the first end, and before Lynsey Clarke peeled off 6 ends in a row to be leading 9 shots to 1. It's now been 4 ends in a row to Ellen Faulkner, who, despite sinking the jack with her jack roll, and this one will be okay, has gone 3-3-1-1. Bang, crash, wallop. It's 9-all.
She's certainly liking these longer ends, isn't she?
Well, this is what can happen. They find their range, these players.
That's smart play. You know, you've got to play to your strengths. Okay, she's just pulling up. Oh, good meter short. Okay. Now, Lynsey needs to take her opportunity. She needs to get this one in closer to the jack, just to let her opponent know that she's...
Hey, I'm still here. I'm Lynsey Clarke.
That's
I'm not
right.
going away, yeah.
She's pulled up a bit short too.
Nigel Thompson saying, worthy of a world final. Fantastic bowls. Well, already we're seeing some incredible action here from two of the best the game has ever seen. And Ellen Faulkner corrects nicely.
Look at that. About a foot short of the jack.
So, Lynsey Clarke just asking questions there of our marker, Mitch Mears. Now, she added sufficient weight here, Paul Holschke, because it's a good line to get to the jack.
She's coming.
Yeah, well played.
And has delivered just like the postman, mate.
We're seeing plenty of warm rounds of applause. Lara Butler's out to a commanding 18 shots to 5 lead over Christine McGarity from Merimbula, 2 rinks away. She looked in total control in the middle session game against
She's
Bush
definitely going to be a good chance to take out this title this year, Lara. Being a semi-finalist, I think 2 years in a row. I could be mistaken, but she was definitely a finalist last year, I think it was. Semi-finalist, I mean.
Yeah, well credentialed and showed lots of class today. As we see Lynsey Clarke switch to the forehand, and she's chasing this one down.
She likes it.
Well, needs
get
a
around
clear
her
road
own.
now. And
Just
has
under
gone.
it. No. Oh, maybe not. Maybe only third shot. Okay, Ellen's having to come down for a look as an inspect as well. This will be an interesting shot. She's got options here. She can either draw around or she can play a little bit of weight onto Lynsey's, move that in, push that through and stay and claim the shot. That's what a lot of the men would play. I'm not saying that the women can't do it, but the men do play a more aggressive game. They like to crash and bash a little bit more.
Well, the match position means that she can probably afford to be a little bit more aggressive now too, Paul. You know, if she was trailing, as she was only a moment ago, 9-1. But
Okay.
out on a high draw line here.
Forehand draw. Here it comes. It's hanging out.
Well, the pace was a bit more than a draw there.
I think she was trying to play onto Lynsey's front bowl, but just obviously went wider than she would have liked. So here's an opportunity for Lynsey here. Does she come around onto the backhand, play onto Ellen's, push that out. Or does she play on the forehand, looking to draw another one? Maybe push her own in for a second or a third shot. Okay, she's going on the forehand. I think she'll be trying to come.
Well,
She's going around that front bowl of hers. I don't think she's going to make it. She's not going to make it, no, unfortunately not.
But Lynsey Clarke back on the board.
Takes the lead, 10-9, and takes control of the mat.
We think.
Measuring for a second.
We think it's only one at this point.
How's the last question, Nick? The helicopters coming through, going past.
And one shot it is only. So Mitch Mears showing us the single paddle. And 10 shots now, Lynsey Clarke. 9 shots, Ellen Faulkner, in a fascinating contest. Now, Nigel's asked an interesting question. Can you see the day where these types of big tournaments are just open gender? Look, probably not something like the Australian Open, but there are lots and lots of tournaments you can go and play in now which are open gender. And we see so many of the great women in our game who not only compete but beat the men on a regular basis. I wouldn't want to face off against any of these women, Paul.
Me, certainly not.
One of the things that this event has, and we see so many of the events that have qualification, like the Australian Championships, to global bowls events, is that there is gendered events. Commonwealth Games, for example, is men's and women's competition. But one of the things that we're seeing a lot more, though, now too, is the inclusion of para and open bowlers playing together. Yep. There's a number of them who are outstanding.
Our entries in the para multi-disability space have tripled in the last number of years. So, there's a real appetite.
But even we see some of the elite para players, the likes of James Reynolds, Damien Delgado, Josh Thornton, Serena Bottle. They compete at the open level.
Cheryl Linfield. Both Cheryl and Serena got through their women's sections the other day.
Yeah,
Not sure how they've gone in the knockout.
Serena Bottle, no good. She was knocked out earlier.
Don't listen to us. Don't listen to him, Serena. You did very well.
I'm saying that she was defeated. My apologies, Serena Bottle.
Yes. Oh, I was just stirring you up, Nick. Okay, where are we situated? Looks like 1 to Lynsey.
Yeah, pretty loose head so far, Paul. They've been putting together some really tight heads here. As we see Lynsey
the crowd,
Clarke.
they're liking that.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Nice little resting toucher. That's how you do it, Nick. Oh, my goodness. For those into their AFL, the Western Bulldogs are giving Fremantle a touch-up, 94 to 41. That's not good for me. I have tipped Freo Dockers to win that game, so I'll be dropping a tip, unfortunately.
If anybody follows your tips, Paul Holsky, they'll be going broke.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm doing pretty well this year. I think I'm second on the footy tipping competition with Bowls Australia, and in the family one, I'm in front.
That's probably because you're the convener of that tipping competition, aren't you?
No. Aaron Delaporte, he's doing a great job overseeing the tipping competition.
Nigel Thompson just saying Jimmy Reynolds is outstanding in para or otherwise, and you're exactly right. He did skip for the ACT only 2 years ago at the Nationals here. And will be representing New South Wales now. And the upcoming Nationals, I see he's in the squad.
No worries. Thanks very much.
So
When Mum's fit enough again,
I think we might see
Oh, you just go there anytime you like.
Ellen Faulkner on the attack now. She's just asked the question of Mitch Mears if she has 2 seconds. And the answer is 1 second only. So I favour then it's the front bowl of Ellen Faulkner, which is second shot, and then the back blue bowl of Lynsey Clarke is third. Had she been given a different response, I think we would have seen more weight played. But Ellen Faulkner looking to get a clear road down to the jack here. Didn't need that touch.
Fortunately, crashed into her own bowl. Crashing into her own bowl, yes.
So one shot it is, as signalled by our man Mitch Mears to Lynsey Clarke. She doubles her lead. Out to 2 shots now. But this game has become much more evenly poised, Paul.
Certainly the ebbs and the flows.
Yeah, well, it did look for a moment there when it got to 9 shots to 1. It looked as though Lynsey Clarke might run away with it and we'd be having a very early cup of tea this afternoon. But
no, the crowd don't want that.
Well, Ellen Faulkner's risen to the occasion. The crowd is, of course, cheering on these great combatants.
And it just shows the foresight of the Broadbeach Bowling Club. By building this deck, this viewing area, it creates like a grandstand platform, which is great, which means more people can see these high-quality games. They've done an outstanding job, the club. If you haven't been to Broadbeach Bowling Club for a while, pop in. Come and see the new renovations. They're very proud of what they've done, and so they should be. It's a great home of the Australian Open.
Results coming through from the other venues. Brianna Smith, we've seen, is through in the women's singles. She's defeated. She was at Beenleigh today. Has defeated Christine Myers from South Tamworth 21-7. So one of the prominent names in New South Wales there, Brianna Smith, safely through to the round of 16.
I think I met her husband this morning, Jeff Myers. He came into the back office at Broadbeach, come and said hello, so it was nice to meet him.
South Tamworth have, of course, hosted lots of big events in New South Wales, one of the great regional clubs.
Well, Nick, I've heard that the South Tamworth greens are the best greens in Australia. That's what they've told me. I'm not sure whether that's correct, but apparently they're very good. Meanwhile, has she drawn the shots? It's very close.
Well, there's lots of really good greens wherever you go. Mitch Mears is, for the first time, jumping in the right way of our camera, but I'll credit him with that because he had to get a good angle to give us a determination on which bowl was holding shot.
Maybe some of our viewers can testify to the greens at South Tamworth. I haven't been there, unfortunately, so I can't testify to that fact.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ellen Faulkner likes the greens here at Broadbeach because she's played an absolute perler. Round up all the bowls. She's snuck around the front blue of Lynsey Clarke and has come around, as we see the replay here.
Oh, look
thanks
at
to
this.
Lockie.
Perfection.
That's about as good as you can do from that range.
That is exceptional bowling. What's Lynsey going to do? Is she going to have a little run at it, do you think?
Well, the risk for Lynsey Clarke is she's only got that one blue bowl at the front that's doing anything to assist her. If that one was to disappear, she'd be down 3.
She's doing a draw. It's a little bit high, though, I think. It's not going to come in. Speed was awesome.
Very close. And now for Ellen Faulkner. Play it again, Sam.
Hardest shot in bowls, Nick, is
playing the same bowl twice.
Exactly right.
Particularly for low grade mugs like you and I, Paul.
He got that right.
Well, you're not a low grade mug though.
I'm just a wannabe, Nick.
Well, she's probably done enough there.
I think she has.
Wiggled off
2.
The front.
I think it'll only be 2.
Well, Mitch has been pretty good with the paddle so far. He gave a very confident 1 shot, but Ellen Faulkner doesn't necessarily believe him.
He's got the 2 paddles out. He's quietly confident it's 2.
Yeah.
Which will level the game.
We've seen him on Rinkside Live many times as a marker, Mitch Mears, and he's done a really good job for us.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Now the other one.
3.
It's 3.
Well.
There you go. Ellen has taken the lead for the second time.
Well, Ellen Faulkner led 1-0 after the first end. That was the last time she led. It's now 12 shots Ellen Faulkner, 11 shots Lynsey Clarke. It's all done next door. They've shaken hands. Lara Butler has defeated Christine McGarity 21 shots to 6, we believe.
Yes. And who's she playing next? Do we know, Lockie? The winner of this
We'll be
game.
playing the winner of this
doesn't
game.
get any easier, does it?
Well, look, if your name is Lara Butler, Ellen Faulkner or Lynsey Clarke, you're not getting an easy run to the title here. But to be the best, you've got to beat the best, Paul.
Correct. Okay. Ellen coming down on the forehand. These red and white bowls.
More results filtering through. Sarah Boddington has given Natasha Van Eldick a little bit of a tune up there. 21-5.
My goodness.
There goes another house.
Another defending champion. I think Natasha's won it, what, 2 or 3 times?
Well, Sarah Boddington has done...
3 times.
Sarah Boddington has been thereabouts in New South Wales for a long, long time.
Did she win the state singles this year?
No. Dawn Heyman.
Dawn, oh, of course. Sorry. Sorry, Dawn.
And it wasn't close, sadly. Sarah Boddington was the other finalist. But Dawn won all events that she played in and is going to have a very big representative campaign later on in the year at the Nationals. Which will be held, of course, across the Gold Coast Tweed region. Club Tweed and Broadbeach, our hosts for the Nationals in October.
Yes, and we're very much looking forward to that. The Paras will be here at Broadbeach. I know they're very excited about coming here.
So Mitch Mears having a close assessment here. 2 shots is the determination. He was doing freestyle, he was doing backstroke. Mitchell to...
What about a swan dive?
Well, he was wandering all around that, encircling the head to make sure he got the right number of shots. He might have been a bit disappointed on himself because he was very confident that Ellen Faulkner
Well, can Ellen draw in for a third? Coming in on the backhand. How's her speed?
Not quite there, I don't think, Paul.
Quite, no.
So
The line was good. All right.
Lynsey Clarke.
What do you do now, Nick? Do you draw on the forehand or the backhand?
Yeah, forehand I still like. I think that last bowl is probably in your eye too much on the backhand. I know it's probably 1,200 millimetres out.
Well, she could come under it.
But Lynsey asking
which
one is second
playing
shot.
The forehand. She's stuck to the hand that she knows.
Well, this looks to be on a better line, Paul.
It's going to have to get a little rub off her own in for the shot.
Yep, that'll do.
Yeah, there'll be a round of applause.
Yeah, 1 shot it is to Lynsey.
Now, some may say that was luck.
Well, but by playing the forehand, she had the
right.
opportunity to use a bowl that was already there.
So I totally agree with you, Nick.
So while she may have had a small amount of fortune, by choosing that hand, by electing that hand, she increased her probability of getting a result.
I agree.
And I would expect that Ellen Faulkner is going to try to rip that bowl out.
On the backhand or the forehand?
Whichever hand she likes.
Haven't really seen a drive by Ellen yet, have we, this game?
Well, she's got second and third. She's lining up on the backhand. Won't be short here.
It's not a drive, but it's a... She's got to come under her own. Here's a chance.
Clear road down to the jack, maybe.
There's
Paul.
a chance for 2. Oh.
Well,
I'd say it's 1.
well, if she's given away an extra shot there,
I'd say it's only 1.
she'd be most disappointed. Beautiful pictures coming to you here on Rinkside Live. Lovely and sharp once we've got a consistent amount of sun across the green. Mitch Mears having a good look as well. And 1 shot still only, so no damage there from
What does
Ellen
she play
Faulkner.
now, Nick?
Well, look, I mean, any contact on the shot bowl, any movement of the
Yes.
jack backwards, there's going to be an opportunity to increase the margin from 1 shot to potentially 2 or 3, Paul. So,
Well, she's
Reaching the
obviously
jack.
heard your advice. She's changed her hand to the backhand.
well, Lynsey,
She
Clarke
comes.
and I,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You besties, are you?
I'll tell you after this end.
She's coming around Allen's. Not going to quite,
So,
unfortunately.
Lynsey, Clarke and I,
Okay, let's hear this.
I'm in a unique group with
Right.
Lynsey Clarke, Karen Murphy, Aaron Sheriff, and Rebecca Van Ash, and myself were the first to complete the Bowls Australia Advanced Coaching course online.
Right.
So there you go. So I'm being given a round of applause by everybody here. It's remarkable. 1 shot it is, as signalled by Mitch Mears, where even again, it's 12 all. Bowls Australia Advanced Coach Nick Hind alongside non-advanced coach Paul Holchke here with
Club
you.
coach.
Club coach Paul Holchke. Watching Bowls Australia Advanced Coach and Queensland Pathways Coach, Lynsey Clarke. And
We have
Pathways
the BPL Cup here.
Pathways Coaching Manager Ellen Faulkner. BPL Cup is coming up. It's on your screen. The link is in
Get
the comments.
involved. It's your chance to win a national title.
I did say I caught up with Darren Morrison this morning. He was defeated.
He was he?
Yeah, 21-14 he went down.
You'll be a bit disappointed with that.
Well, the reigning BPL Cup champion and the current New South Wales Pairs champion, Darren Morrison, is out. For those that weren't with us earlier, there's a number of big names out, including Jen Delves, Sam Atkinson, Kira Burke, Kelly McCarrahan,
You say that so well.
and Cass Millerick this morning, and the player who defeated her, Mari Gibbs, is also out.
2015 women's singles runner-up. Gone.
Correct.
Who's your tip to win it, Nick?
Oh, I mean, the safe thing to say is Aaron Sheriff in the men and Kelsey Cottrell in the women, but Dawn Heyman has been absolutely imperious in her form. I think she's
I'm not sure if it's possible, but could it be a Dawn-Kelsey final?
Locke will have a look for us. That could be possible.
A semi, which will be at Helensvale on Wednesday. That
Big semi-final day coming up, yes. We see.
It'd be good to see Dawn break through and win her first
She's
women's
won.
singles.
She's won just about everything else, Dawn Heyman.
This year? Oh, absolutely.
We streamed her partner, Thomas Webb, the other day with his St John's Park crew against Ryan Bester. It was a great game. Tom Webb had a chance to draw the game by sinking the jack with the last bowl. As we see,
Holding 3.
Lynsey Clarke holding 3. It's not a great 3 though, but as the pace is coming off this green, it's cooled down noticeably, Paul Holchke, in the last 10 minutes.
The breeze has just sprung up just in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, coming out of the east now, cool ocean breeze. So from the right-hand side of your screen, viewers, it doesn't seem to be impacting the bowls too much, though, in terms of how they're turning. But what it is impacting, perhaps, is the pace of the green, as we're almost fully engulfed in shadows here at Rink 22, Green 4 at Broadbeach Bowls Club, as we see attack.
Here we go. A little bit of weight.
Wow.
Well, as we know here at Broadbeach, as soon as the sun goes down, the speed definitely drops. in the green speed. And I dare say that's sort of slowly happening.
Well, the attack.
And this would be an advantage to Lynsey, being a resident Gold Coast for most of her life, if not all of her life. I can't remember, but
She was born in the UK,
that's correct.
Lynsey Clarke, but she's certainly so familiar with these greens, Paul, and
It makes a difference having that experience, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, we mentioned just the other day that Jared Davies, who's of course a Broadbeach member and who's one of your men, who see a great effort there.
Jared Davies.
He was streaming and it was the afternoon game, but I said even if you're a Broadbeach member, you're very unlikely to come and practice on the ditch rink in the shade at the end of the day. You're going to go out where you're a little bit closer to the bar probably. You're going to go out where there's a little bit more sunshine. And so this is an unfamiliar rink for so many of these players, particularly at this time of day. And for Ellen Faulkner now, she's down 4 shots. Vitally important
Right.
that she gets one in here. She's going to
She's
have
going
another
to have
rip
to
and
draw
try-
it in, isn't
Yes.
she?
I
She's got to be very positive on this draw. She's got 2 bowls she can land on. She's a little bit worried about her width.
Well, anything Jack High will cut it down though, Paul. Oh, I don't know.
No.
Might have got the front one out. Might have
So
got the
it's
front
2.
2 out. But currently at least 2 shots as the bangers start next door at Broadbeach Soccer Club. They must have a good music system there.
Such an active soccer club. There's always someone out there playing soccer.
Well, such an active community here.
Or do we call it football?
Well, it does say on their sign, Broadbeach United Soccer Club. 3 shots it is to Lynsey Clarke. John Redhead saying Dawny all the way in the women's singles. I think I'm agreeing with you. Home of the Dolphins. Yes, that is the Broadbeach United Soccer Club. It is the home of the Dolphins. It's the home of the banging stereo too. We're hearing some loud tunes coming out of there. It is nearly 4 o'clock here, Saturday afternoon. This is day 8 of the Australian Open here at Broadbeach Bowls Club. Val Febo's been given the weekend off, so it's Nick Hind with you this afternoon. Paul Holtschke is alongside me talking to the fans. He's the man of the people. The autograph session will commence later on from Paul Holtschke. As we see Lynsey Clarke, she's really fought back. 4 of the last 5 ends she's won and regained the lead after trailing 1-0 to Ellen Faulkner and then again 12 shots to 11. Lynsey Clarke has evened the game in the last 2 ends and with a 3-shot score on the last end, a 3-shot pickup, has hit the front. Who's going to win, Paul?
Oh, geez, you ask the hard questions. Well, being a mad Carlton supporter, I did tip the Blue Bowls, didn't I?
You did. So, well, watch this bowl from Lynsey Clarke. The likely schedule for tomorrow, we won't tell you who the games are because it's still waiting on results. But tomorrow morning, round of 64, men's knockout singles. The middle session, the round of 16, women's singles. And then the quarter final of the women's singles as the afternoon session. So 3 huge games tomorrow on RINKSIDE Live. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, do all the things that you need to do with Bowls Australia social media. We are chasing 1 million, more than that, 1 billion subscribers. We are currently several hundred million short. So make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, turn your notifications on because huge games coming tomorrow.
At Helensvale.
At Helensvale Bowling Club, yes. We can see Lynsey holding one here, but she's still left it open enough. A player of Ellen Faulkner's capability to draw this. Probably only needs to promote her front bowl.
It's hanging out there.
Yeah, half a roll or so.
I'd say she's got 2 on the tee.
Oh, I don't know that Bear Jacks is the go. It's a low percentage play, Paul.
In singles, anyway. It's a totally different game, isn't it? Singles to fours.
Val's often had some very interesting ideas about what shots to play. But even he, I don't think, would be calling for a Bear Jack here. He sees the game differently to some of us.
All right. Lynsey drawing in on the backhand. Trying to draw a second shot.
She's done very well.
I think she has. Very nice. Wow. Well, this could help. A little trail.
Well,
could pick up 3
yeah,
here.
can turn it over trail, finish a little bit tight, and sit on the shot bowl. That's number 1, the last bowl of Lynsey
She's
Clarke.
playing the backhand, so she's giving it an opportunity.
Well, this is
watching very intently.
This is the sort of line that's going to work for her, Paul.
Tell you what, not far away.
Needs to hurry.
Oh,
Well, rocked it, but didn't roll it.
it's close.
Very quickly,
1.
one bowl comes out, and Lynsey Clarke onto the tape.
Is it 2? Just the 1.
Solitary, but the lead extends. As we see the ear of one of our fans walking past the camera there.
They've seen enough. I think they've decided Lynsey's going to win.
Well, they might be rushing off to get a spot in the Mega Bowl tonight. There might only be a few spots left, Paul. How many were left when you came on air?
About halfway through.
Yeah, so maximum of 128 entries.
They generally come in with a rush right at the end. It's 5-4 at the moment here in.
Maxine's calling for a Kylie Whitehead versus Dawn Heyman women's singles final.
That could be a possibility.
Great start here, Lynsey Clarke. Sorry to say, Maxine, that Kylie and Dawn are on the same side of the draw, so that won't be happening. But they might meet each other between now and then. And what a contest that would be. Ellen Faulkner just slides under the jack.
It was a terrific effort. So Lynsey going shorter again on this end. Her compact delivery seems to probably be advantageous for a shorter end. And has she rolled it in nicely here? Look at this one. Look at that.
She's just showing off now. Playing all lengths, all hands, all weights. And plonking two right next to the jack there. Ellen Faulkner's corrected though as well.
Hey, this is looking good. Coming in.
Touch on.
Sitting on the back. Oh, I think probably 1 now. Cut it back.
Didn't get a touch of the jack there. I thought she was a big chance, Ellen Faulkner, of moving the jack, but big decision here for Lynsey Clarke because while she only holds 1, there's a big target forming, and Ellen Faulkner's shown the proclivity to have a drive at smaller targets than this.
Here comes.
Well, this could get it.
Just get in front.
This could get in the road nicely.
Yeah, nice little blocker. So on the backhand.
Yeah, no addition of weight yet from Ellen.
How's she going here, Nick? How's she going? Just hanging out there.
Yeah, she did add some weight, but it wasn't in an aggressive manner.
I think the idea was right.
As we see the second bowl there of Lynsey Clarke.
Beautiful to watch, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that
It's
one's
just
being
poetry in motion.
Well, that one's being held out. So As you look on the screen, the bowl immediately behind the jack on the line is the shot. Second shot is the white and red bowl of Ellen Faulkner on the left-hand side of the screen. And then third shot, the dark blue Taylor SR of
navy blue, Nick.
Lynsey.
Did that right, navy blue.
There's no Carlton logos on there, so...
We'll have to do something about that. Okay. On the forehand.
Well, this is tracking pretty well here, Paul. Well, what a tight collection of bowls we're seeing there. 2 shots is what Mitch Mears suggested is. I think that last bowl of Lynsey Clarke has come in for second shot. Now, that front dark blue bowl, as we see a great replay there from Locke, the dark blue bowl at the front might be preventing some serious big weight on the forehand. There could be some weight played on the backhand. Look to squeeze the jack out. A kill would be 1 shot currently. To Ellen, but she's not been far away. She might back herself to draw it and tuck it in, rattle around through the head.
She's going to make contact.
See what happens. Wow.
It's just cutting. 1 to Lynsey.
2 to Lynsey.
2. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Ellen surrendering 2.
18-12 now, Nick.
And now 18-12. Well,
she can now.
1 end away potentially.
She is 1 end away, correct.
And we saw Ellen Faulkner surrender the 2 there. I would have loved for her to have been able to have a mulligan there and have another go at it, because I think with 2 tries she hits that and things change. But there's no mulligans for players.
Wouldn't that be cool in
capability.
each game have a free shot?
Julie, no, the Mega Bowl won't be telecast, but we'll have some cameras, some mobile phones on site. We might see a bowl as good as we saw. Was it last year?
Last year by Tacky.
Oh, we've seen some pretty good ones.
That was in the semi. I was Kate Carriage, was it?
Kate Carriage, who won last year. There was a toucher already on there, and she went and trailed the jack 3
It was a
feet.
sensational bowl.
Kate Carriage, who, of course, was the Bowls New South Wales President's Reserve singles champion, and also a member of the ADF.
Now living in America at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah, she's her partner's gone over there on tour, and so she's had to pause her burgeoning career in bowls to go to the States, but I'm sure she'll be getting a game over there.
She was Australian Jackaroo. She's got a number. Can't remember what number it was. That would have been a proud moment for her to pull on the Jackaroo's hat.
Yeah, well,
represent her country.
She took a long break from bowls.
Oh, Ellen Faulkner, here it comes. Look at that.
And has come back and barely missed a trick. Kate Carriage, cap number 81, in between Carla Krasanik and Chloe Stewart.
Wow.
Some fair company.
Mm.
But she's got one more Mega Bowls title than either Carla or Chloe. So,
well, it was good to see
one more big Mega Bowls title than me too.
Last week in the Mega Bowl, we had the likes of Corey Wedlock, Gary Kelly. I think Aaron Tees even had a run, didn't he? Gary Kelly made it through to the semis.
It shows they're all beatable, and it's just
correct.
one bowl. Now, Ellen, really important that she wins this end with Lynsey Clarke.
Drawing in for a second here. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, with Lynsey Clarke just 3 shots away from a berth in the round of 16. Absolutely crucial, if your name is Ellen Faulkner, that you continue to apply pressure.
Now, what do you think, Nick? Is she going to come around on the backhand? Or do you think she'll be looking for it on the forehand? It's the backhand.
Yeah, beautiful shots here. Just hit 4 o'clock. Lovely
That's
time of day
such an
here.
easy, rhythmic delivery. Can she draw around the
Well.
Ellen Faulkner bowl? Has she got the speed? Doesn't quite look like it. No.
Well,
She'll be disappointed with that. The line was superb.
if it had the go, it was very good. But now it's a free kick for Ellen Faulkner.
Wow, she
A free kick.
tightened the scores up a little bit.
3 shots here would put the pressure back on. It's been funny how we've seen, though, Paul. There's been a 6-end swing for Lynsey at the start of the game, 4 ends for Ellen to get roaring back into the contest, and now, after a little bit of tit for tat, 4 ends again from Lynsey Clarke. So we can see control of the mat has tended to have control of who wins the ends here, because clearly both players can score in bunches, can score in clusters. Is this going to go the distance?
I doubt not.
Lynsey's kicked 2 bowls out. Ellen Faulkner's going to come and inspect. It may well be.
And Mitch isn't helping us either, mate.
Well, he might not know. It could be very close here. Jonathan Hall saying, greetings from Chile. Harare in Zimbabwe. 2 shots is all.
Look at him. He's loving it, Mitch. Doing such a great job. It's the volunteers that help make this event. Without them, the Australian Open wouldn't be what it is. So a big shout out to all our volunteers across our 14 clubs who are helping to assist with the AO this year.
More results coming through. And Maxine, who was after the Kylie versus Dawn final, that won't be happening. Kylie Whitehead has been defeated. 21 shots to 19, so she is out.
Who knocked Kylie out?
Wendy Wilson.
Wendy Wilson. She was a finalist in the women's pairs a couple of years ago with Trish Doolan.
Yeah, and defeated Selena Goddard earlier today as well. So 2 big scalps for Wendy Wilson.
On fire. Maybe she could be the threat. Also, newly appointed to the Bowls Queensland board, Wendy Wilson.
Yes, best of luck to the new Bowls Queensland board, to everybody who gives their support on clubs, boards, committees, volunteer groups helping out our game. Nearly 1,000 volunteers who help out here at the Australian Open across 14 clubs. We're blessed to have so many.
Well, we're talking about blessed. How's our friend Barry going?
Barry blessed Leicester. He was playing Tony Hinton at Southport today. No results through yet, so Tony will be keeping him honest by the sounds of things.
So Barry won his first game.
Yeah, so Barry playing now. But we'll keep you up to date as results come through. But you can follow them all for yourself on the Bowls Now app. Download it on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, or go to results.bowlslink.com.au on your computer, and you can follow all the results of all the games here at the Australian Open and at all clubs across the country now. Everyone's got access to BowlsLink. Everyone can run their events through BowlsLink. And you can see...
It's such a great resource.
Well, look, it's not that great, because if you go and have a look at, say, the Jindabyne men's major singles this year, you'll see Nick Hine was defeated in the second round. Bugger.
Well, as they say, Nick, you can't win them all, mate. And there's always next year.
Yes. I was...
Have you won that title yet?
Yes, 2019 singles champion I was. So that was a bit of a monkey to get off my back, because I'd been runner-up twice before. And I've also been a 4-time runner-up in the major pairs 4 years consecutively with 4 different partners.
Oh, my goodness.
So the common denominator was yours truly.
Have you won the pairs yet?
No.
No, still searching.
Yeah, I'll keep sacking him till I find somebody.
Maybe I'll have to move up to Jindabyne and help you, mate.
I think I'd be very happy to lead for you, Paul Holschke.
No.
Now,
I'll be looking for someone a little bit more experienced.
Now, we're looking at One shot currently, we think, to Ellen Faulkner. A second shot here.
Reckon it's only one?
Well,
Confident? Wonder what Mitch... Yeah, Mitch is...
yes, I am.
Good old Mitch helping us out.
Oh, Mitch has been very good today. So one shot we like to Ellen. She's going to play the backhand here. She only needs to get inside the red and white bowl of hers on the wing at 3 o'clock. You'll see here as Lockie changes the camera. Finishes inside that, she'll count.
How's it looking,
Close.
Nick? It's very close, coming in.
Close, played it beautifully.
Oh, my goodness. Now, that's what you need to do in the Jindabyne pairs, and you'll be able to take it out next year, mate.
I only went down by one the last time
Yeah, well,
I was in the final, but I've had my revenge. I'm a 4-time BPL Cup champion at Jindabyne, Paul. That doesn't quite hold the same prestige just yet, but we're...
well, what happened last year? You made it through to the state final, and then...
I ran to a couple of pretty fair sides there.
Right.
And Nathan Dawson team from Curry. Pretty good Cabramatta side.
It's a hotly contested event, isn't it, the BPL Cup?
Yeah, and
Our
friend Jason Pinnock from
got
Yamba.
We've got a bit of speed.
Well, looking for the jack here.
Tell you what,
Jack and
not
only
far
jack.
away.
Got it. Gus the jack.
My goodness, what a bowl.
Well, now, how many shots does this make, Paul Holch? Because
This could be 3.
if it is 3 shots, that's the shot that's going to
Over and
decide
out.
this match. And at least looking at it from that angle,
I think Lynsey knows. I think they're about to...
and they've called for an umpire. It's a long, long measure.
Just probably delaying the inevitable, do you think, Nick?
Well, what it does do is it keeps us in suspense.
It certainly does.
As Lynsey Clarke, we know, will be on at least 20 shots. The umpire is going to come out and measure for shot number 21.
Here he comes.
We've seen the jack go in the ditch. Lynsey Clarke has played an absolute cracker. And she's got a chance here to win this game.
It's very close.
Now,
I think Lynsey's very confident.
well, she went and had a good assessment of the head before the bowl was played. She had a look at what the options were.
I think Ellen
And-
knows too, but
Well, what's in her favour is that the jack is so far to the left-hand side of the centre line. If it went straight back to the pit, I think the blue bowl would have been good enough. But umpire has said that will do.
all right. It comes down to this, Nick. Just 2. We have one more end, at least.
One more end it is. Well, exciting times here at Broadbeach Bowling Club. Paul Holchke is alongside me. Nick Hind here at Rink 22. We're watching the exciting conclusion of the round of 32 match here at the Australian Open Women's Singles between two of the best the game has ever seen, Lynsey Clarke and Ellen Faulkner, who have been in a seesawing battle. Ellen Faulkner has had the lead on 2 occasions. Lynsey Clarke, though, has fought back both times and has retained the lead, and now a 6-shot advantage, leading 20 shots to 14, and now needing only 1 shot for victory, Paul.
1 shot to check out. Move on to the next round. Take on Laura Butler from Western Australia.
Yeah, so Lara Butler we saw in the middle game today
Lara, I
has
apologise.
been in absolutely imperious form. Accounted very easily for Ush Muncaster, and then accounted this afternoon for Christine McGarity. She's in some fine form, but whether it's going to be Ellen Faulkner or Lynsey Clarke, Lara Butler will be in for a real big contest tomorrow.
Well, let's see how Ellen can respond. She's a fighter. She never gives up. And she will play it right to the end. So this game is still far from being finished. She needs to plant one on the jack.
Just got a message from my mate, Gavin Spears.
What's Gavin up to, mate?
He tells me how easy it is to win the Jindabyne singles. He's only at my club, at the pairs, sorry. He was only at the club for a couple of years and he got a few titles. Good bowler, Gavin. Now at Evans Head, he's one of the greenkeepers at Evans Head in northern New South Wales. Gavin, if you're listening, let me know if we're going to play the Summerland this year.
I've never been to Evans Head, but it sounds like a nice place to be.
Oh, look, there's not too many places where you can go wrong, particularly this time of year, and particularly if you're from Melbourne, Paul. 2 shots it is here. Lynsey Clarke. Pressure's on. Ellen Faulkner cannot drop another shot if she has aspirations.
Of winning her first Australian Open title.
Wow.
Singles title.
Has done everything but in a storied career, Ellen Faulkner. Still 2 shots. So both those bowls at the right of screen there at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Number 1 and number 2, but we're only playing 21 shots up. Shots in excess don't matter. So 1 shot is all that's required here from Ellen. From Lynsey, sorry. 1 shot's all that's required from Ellen, each and every end, to make this game continue.
Well, drawing in on the forehand, looking to stop it near the jack. Make the just to... Well,
it puts the pressure on.
I think she's going to have to change her hand, Nick.
It needs an absolutely millimetre perfect bowl now. If she's going to draw it on the backhand.
Draw it on the backhand. She could spring it out and potentially make 3.
Yeah, playing with weight, not really too many options because the best back bowl belongs to Lynsey Clarke. So just probably drawing with trail weight. Paul,
yep.
What do you favour? Drawing backhand, trail weight. Make sure you're there.
Absolutely.
Nothing for short here. All right. This could be the final bowl of this enthralling contest. As we go quiet.
Here it comes.
On Faulkner.
On the backhand.
It's confident weight. I think she's out. She's out
I
high.
think it's a bit wide. Well,
and without a magnificent result, it's going to be 3 shots, but 1 was all that was required. Lynsey Clarke is through to the round of 16 here at the Australian Open Women's Singles. We'll be back tomorrow from Helensvale. There'll be a change of scenery. There'll be a change of callers. We might even see an old friend tomorrow. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe the Bowls Australia YouTube and Facebook page. All the information will be there tonight. Thank you to Paul Holschke.
Well done, Nick. Who's our special guest tomorrow?
Oh,
can't say.
You'll have to wait and see.
Ooh.
The Australian Open is, of course, supported by Experience Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. On behalf of the team here, on behalf of Lachlan Williams, Paul Holschke, John Seitman, who joined us earlier. My name is Nick Hine.
John.
It's been a pleasure having your company, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Club Helensvale.